What about women? Um, I know you're a relationship coach, and then you help women get out of a bad relationship. But I feel like there's both sides. There are men out there who are in a bad relationship. So what are the red flags in a woman?
So what I've seen with women is that sometimes because women have a secret power where it's like they know the truth before they even see it, and they have an intuition. But the problem is that they overcompensate. They don't. I guess they don't lean into that enough, and they'll try to you know see past it in order to help a person, right? So if a person is sounds like they're lying or looks like they're lying, and then you kind of get that feeling in your gut like something isn't right, instead of leaning into that feeling and receiving it and thinking it through, sometimes they want the person in front of you is so hard to decipher, so you're seeing the pain up front, and what they'll do is they'll allow that person to invalidate their secret power. And that's normally what I see wrong is they'll tell themselves something that's not true in order to make it work with this person. Like they'll say, "Oh, well, it's not a big deal. He's just got to learn." When in reality, you're not happy with the situation. It is a big deal, and he's not learning. But you're not willing to come to terms with that because you don't want to feel bad about telling him the truth, and you don't want this to have to go bad, the situation, you don't want to lose it because you're the one that wasn't happy with what was going on. So it's like to avoid, having to put that secret power out there and see what happens. They'll try to maneuver the situation where it can work in their favor, but it often doesn't work that way. So I would say what what helps women, and which I normally get them to see in my sessions, is I help reveal that their secret power is one of the best things that they can have, and to utilize that and harness it and practice with it and make that the best thing for you so you know how to navigate out of these situations. And don't let anyone ever make you question that, because people
Mm.
will do that. Guys will do that. They will use their dominance to try to overpower your own intuition and make you think that what you believe is not true, or make you think that what you're saying doesn't make any sense. Instead, they're not making room for you, so they'll try to invalidate you.
How would they do that? Like, for example, give me an example. Give me an example. Give me a scenario of how, in this situation, men sees that okay, you're using your superpower, um, to tell men that okay they're doing wrong, and then they're seeing that instead of like improving on those things, they like overpower you. Give me a scenario of how they overpower you.
So what they do is they make you second guess yourself. Like they try to make you feel like an abundance of love is being handed to you first. So what they do is they break down your guard by making you feel loved and making you feel like their love is believable. Then once they get you to that point, they listen to your vulnerabilities, they listen to your weaknesses, and then they invalidate what you've done to become strong. So let's say when you were younger, people didn't listen to you, right? That's often one thing I hear from a lot of ladies is when I was younger, no one listened to me because I was a little girl. No one took me serious. So as I
Mhm.
got older, I built my voice, right? I built that voice to be heard. I don't want anyone to talk over me. So what will happen is a guy will make you feel loved. And then when you start to use your voice, he says, "You're hurting me." When in reality, it's not about him being hurt. It's about you being hurt in that moment. He can't set himself aside. So
Mm.
instead of him setting himself aside and saying, even though this is hurtful to hear, I need to hear it because I need to make sure that she's happy or that we're compatible. But instead of doing that, he's saying, "Oh, you're bad." And then you start to second guess yourself because you care about this person. So then you're like, am I really bad? So this negative feeling that I'm feeling is me being evil towards you. And then he'll be like, yes, you're evil. We'll go with that, right? He's trying to make you see a different story. So then that feeling that you had, that intuition is now invalid. And now it's being used against you. So now you think you're the person causing all the issues. And then it just gets you deeper and deeper into the toxic. So that's where I've seen it happen.
What's the difference between being in love and loving someone?
Oh, man. So here's how I perceive it, right? Because I can understand that's probably different for people. I think when you're in love with someone, the description is, it's more of a feeling. You've become comfortable with this feeling that you have for this person, the things that they do, the person that they are, the person that they've represented. There are just so many things about them that validate your emotions in particular. Emotionally, you are driven towards this person. And then to say you have love for someone, because I believe you can love someone and not be in love with them. To love someone is to say, regardless of how I feel, I care about you. Like, even though I might not be emotionally driven towards you, I do want to make sure that you are happy. And I want to make sure that you get what you need out of life. And I want to be a part of that journey, or I want to help with that. I want to make sure that your mental health is good, your physical health is good, and just be a part of that. So, what I think happens is, especially in a marriage, you may not be in love 24/7. Like, I think that's a little bit weird because it's like you can't always be, oh my God, I just want you all the time. Like, that's
It's
kind of
weird.
unrealistic. Yeah, because that's kind of like a high, right? And there's emotions fluctuate, they're not
Right,
predictable.
right.
So, but even though you may not be at a 10 today, let's say you may be at a 4. You guys had a fight, or you're not seeing eye to eye, and you just don't really feel like getting in the mood, right? You're not in the mood, but you still love this person. So you want to make sure they're taken care of. Like, let's say, Hirsch is sick, but right now you're at a 4 right now because he said something crazy yesterday. You want to make sure he gets his medicine, right? And you want to make sure that he's going to be okay. Even though you're not in the mood right now, or even though you're not there, you still want to make sure he's in the best state. So that's what it means to love someone as opposed to being in love with someone.